I'm glad you came back to Epic Bible Adventures, because this is where we're going to hear just some totally true stories out of the Bible. And you know, that's the neat thing about the Bible. It is true. Everything you read there. And today we're going to be looking in the book of Esther. You see my Bible is open right here to the book of Esther. It is a book in your Bible, and so if we're going to be taking our story from there, who do you think we're going to be talking about tonight?
Esther.
Esther, of course. Very good. Well, now let me just tell you, the book of Esther has a really complicated plot in it, but it's a really fun book to read, and so you can actually go home and read the whole book and get the whole story, but we're not going to have time for all the details tonight, but we're going to do our best to tell you some about it. And so we're going to kind of set you up with what the story is about. It starts out with Esther being in just this incredible position. And we'll give you a little background. The king in that area, he ruled a huge empire. And he decided that he was going to give this great big gigantic banquet to honor his officials and his military force. And unfortunately, the queen of the time, she decided she wasn't going to cooperate. She decided that she didn't want to go to the banquet that night. Well, you can imagine that was really not a good decision to make, because the king was so angry that she didn't show up that he just booted her right out of the kingdom. He got rid of her, and he decided that he was going to find a new queen. Now, the king sent out agents to every part of his kingdom to find all the beautiful young single women, and he asked that they all be brought to the palace. Now, girls, here comes a part you're going to like. The women were going to get beauty treatments for an entire year. They were going to, can you imagine spa treatments for a whole year? But that's what was going to happen to all these young women. And that's where our character Esther comes in tonight. You know, it kind of sounds like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Kind of like Cinderella. And who knows, maybe that's where Disney got their idea for all their princesses and queens. But anyhow, in our story, there was a man named Mordecai who lived right near the palace. And he had this beautiful young cousin named Esther who lived with his family. You see, when her parents died, Mordecai actually adopted Esther. And all of them in this family were Jews, and they had all been forced out of Jerusalem by another army years ago. So Esther was one of these young women that was taken to the king's palace. Now we're going to play a game just for a minute, and let's see. Since you are our only young man right now, I'm going to let you stand in the center, and you girls make a circle around it, okay? Huh?
I'm not picking a girl.
You're not going to pick a girl?
I'm not picking a queen. If I'm the king, I'm not picking a queen.
Okay, well, we're not going to ask you to pick the queen. We're going to ask you to pick an Esther, okay? She's not queen yet. So stand up, and all you girls make a circle around him, and I'm going to let you close your eyes, okay? All right. Jonathan, close your eyes and hold your arm out. And just go back and forth, and when I tell you to stop, whoever you're pointing at is going to become your Esther. Okay? You ready?
I only got one Esther, but okay.
Stop. Ah, okay. Kaylee, you get to be Kaylee.
Esther.
You get to be
Esther.
And this is the class that has 3 Kayleys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This Kaylee, you get to be Esther. So the rest of you, you're going to be her team of beauty experts, okay? So we need somebody to do her hair, somebody to do her nails, somebody needs to do her toenails. So y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead and start. Now remember,
You do a foot, you do a foot, you do her hair, and you do her nails.
you are
4 people.
good at designing things.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now,
One person does 2 things.
Now remember, these women went through this for a whole year. You just have a couple of minutes to do it.
I don't like this.
You picked the perfect one, huh?
No.
All right. Y'all can finish up now. And doesn't our beautiful. So beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Well, after a year of all these beauty treatments and the king seeing all this going on, the king decided that he loved Esther more than he loved any of the other young women. So he set a royal crown on her head. Would you do me a favor and come over here? I feel like my back's to you. And he declared Esther to be his queen.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
This crown gives me fits all the time. I just haven't seemed to get used to it yet. Pardon my intrusion, but who are you and how did you get into the royal palace?
Esther, hello. How are you?
Hello.
We were just talking about you.
Oh, that's very nice. That's lovely. How did you get past all the guards? And I really am glad you're here. But it's very important for me to know, are you friends? I really could use some friends right now.
Yes, Esther, we are friends. You know why? We all believe in the one true God, don't we? Just like
That's lovely. I do believe in the one true God. I am a Jew, but we have to be very quiet about that because, see, my cousin, Mordecai, well, he's really more like a father to me than anything, but not the point. He asked me not to tell anyone in the palace that I'm a Jew, and because he always helps me to do the right thing, I listen to him, and I haven't told anyone, so no one here knows. You know, he even, when I had all my beauty treatments through that long year, having my nails painted and my hair brushed, he sent me letters almost every day. I kept all of them. I'm reading one today. It's really helping me to feel better today. He's a huge help to me, and I certainly hope that you have someone in your family who helps you.
Well, you know, Esther, today we're studying about how family and friends helps us to stand strong.
Oh, wow, well, that's different. You must be out of town.
We are. We're up from out of town. But anyway, kids, Esther has Mordecai and her family to help her stand strong.
Oh, he does. He really does.
Well, boys and girls, think about in your family. Is there somebody in your family that helps you stand strong?
Oh.
Who might help you in your family to stand strong? Who wants to share? Who?
Grandmother or mother?
Your mother and your grandmother. I bet they do.
I lost my mother. It's very good when you still have your mother.
It sure is. What about the rest of you? Is there someone in your family, Kaylee? You guess that brother that you don't get along with helps you stand strong.
I help him.
Oh, you help him.
Oh, very
I
nice.
see. Well,
What's
that's
both
good
ways?
too. Yes.
My grandmother.
Your grandmother. That's right. That's right. Anybody else? And your mother. Yeah, it's nice when your mother stands behind you like that. Anybody else want to share? Okay. All
I
right.
just think that's lovely, and I'm so glad you have family members who help you to stand strong, and I sure am glad you're my new friends. I hope you'll help me stand strong.
Why, Esther? What's going on?
Well, I can't quite get used to this crown, that's one problem, but I have a larger problem than that. Anyway, I'm in a real spot. There's this awful man, he's really dreadful. His name is Haman. Well, he's a powerful advisor to the king. Well, Haman decided that everyone in the kingdom should bow down when he passed by. Well, Mordecai refused. Well, of course he did. Mordecai would never bow to anyone except God, especially not nasty, mean old Haman.
Well, that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that made Haman really mad. I mean, really, really mad. See, Haman knows that Mordecai is a Jew, like me. So Haman told the king that there's this troublesome race of people who won't obey and do things like they're supposed to and follow the king's rules, and he meant the Jews, of course. So he's convinced the king to kill all the Jews, my people.
Oh, Esther, that's horrible.
I know, and now Mordecai says I need to go before the king and beg for the people's lives. But the king doesn't even know I'm a Jew. And what's worse, everyone knows that if I go before the king without being invited, if I go before him and he hasn't requested that I don't really know any other way to say it, but to say that if I go before him and he hasn't asked me to come, He has the power to kill me. Anyone who appears before the king without being invited is doomed to die unless the king holds out his royal scepter. You know, that long stick thingy that kings carry. Well, if he doesn't hold that out to me, I die. And what are the chances of that? I mean, they're really actually pretty high. I could really die today.
Well, Esther, are you willing to die? What are you going to do?
Well, I have to admit that dying was really not on my list of things to do today. But I've been going around and reading some of these letters that Mordecai left me that have really, really helped me to stand strong. And, you know, I was thinking that maybe you'd like to hear this little part of a letter that he wrote. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah. What you think? Yeah.
He says, "Don't think for a moment that because you're in the palace, you'll escape when all the other Jews are killed. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this."
Wow, Esther, maybe that really is why you were made queen. What are you going to do?
Well, I did have a plan. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Okay, this was my plan. I asked Mordecai to tell the Jews to fast for me. That means to go without anything to eat or drink for 3 whole days. And that my maids and I were going to do the same. We would turn to God and ask him for his help. Then after 3 days, I would go before the king all by myself and ask him. And if I must die, I must die.
Esther, what day is today?
It's the 3rd day. The time has come.
Oh, my goodness.
My new friends, will you help me stand strong today?
What do you think? Do you think we could help Esther stand strong?
Okay. If the king doesn't kill me, if being the predominant word, if he doesn't kill me, I'm going to ask the king and Haman to come to the banquet that I'm going to prepare for them. At the banquet, I'll let the king know of Haman's plot to kill the Jews. And I'm going to tell him I'm a Jew too.
Well, Esther, what can we do to help?
Well, just in case the king doesn't kill me, I'm going to have to prepare this huge banquet. Would you be willing to help prepare the banquet for me? There's food to prepare, and tablecloths to lay out, and flowers to arrange, and the silver needs to be polished. It's really quite a bit of work if you could help me.
We can handle that. Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so, so much. You know, in reality, the king's chambers are right on the other side of that wall, and I'm quite afraid. Would anyone be willing to go and just peek? Remember, don't cross the threshold of the door. Just peek with your eyes. Okay. Lady Cayley, would you go to the door and just peek and tell me if the king's scepter sits upon his royal throne? It's there. The king's scepter, the stick thing, isn't in his chair.
It isn't.
The scepter is there, then surely he'll be there soon. Would you like to look at something for me? Lady Erin? Sometimes he comes to court and he doesn't have his soldiers with him. If there's no swords in the courtroom, I'd feel so much more comforted. Would you go and let me know if there are swords?
Yes.
Remember, don't go through the door, darling. What are swords?
Yes.
Oh, there are swords. I'm surely going to have to use all the bravery and courage I can muster. He's in there. Did you hear those footsteps? I know he's there, sitting on his throne. I don't know if I can really do this. I tell you what, if I die, if I don't come back, make sure you run very quickly out that door.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness.
I hope to see you soon.
Boys and girls, don't you think we need to call out some encouragement to Esther and help her stand strong?
I want to go in there.
I
do too.
Y'all give her some encouragement. Esther, God is going to be
Good
with
luck.
you. Stand strong.
Good luck. Stay strong. Good luck.
Yes.
You'll come back sure.
Oh, I sure hope she's going to be all right. Poor Esther. What a situation to be in. Don't you hope she can stand strong? You know, as her friends, we did try to help her, and Mordecai, her uncle, he helped her too. That's because family and friends help us to stand strong. Have you ever had to stand strong, even when it was hard? Can you think of a time that you'd like to share? A time when you had to stand strong? How about any of you leaders? Have y'all had to stand strong at some point or another? You know, there's been times in my life where I've had to stand strong.
Not mine.
Not yours?
Well, not yet.
Well, there's been times in my life I've lost both my parents, and when they passed away, I had to stand strong for my sister and to be able to keep going. But you know, other family members were there to help me. When did you have to stand
When my
strong?
grandmother died.
I bet you were helping your mom stand strong too, huh? Yes, ma'am.
When my papa died last year,
Oh, I'm so glad that you did.
When my
Katie?
aunt passed away at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. And you, Kayla? Kayla? Yeah. And you know, sometimes it's not just in a death. Sometimes it's when, like we talked about last night, somebody might be bullying you or being mean to you, and you have to stand strong sometimes.
We're about to kill you.
Yeah, something like that. We might not have that kind of dangerous situation, but you know, sometimes we have to change schools because we move, or you know, there's just all kinds of situations where we have to stand strong. But I want you to think about, is there a time that you encouraged somebody else to stand strong when something happened to them? Were you there for them, Jonathan?
When my friend Carl had detention.
Oh, and what did you do?
We talked to him.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Anybody else? What'd you do?
When my brother, when he broke a light bulb, I had to help him clean it up, and I told him to do this.
Well, that was very nice of you, and I know that he was glad to have company while he did that. Yeah, I'm glad to know that you all have helped others to stand strong too.
My friends! Look what I have, the scepter!
Oh.
The king extended it to me and he didn't kill me. Well, obviously he didn't kill me. And I almost kept the crown straight. I'm so proud of myself today. But I'm so glad that God helped me and you helped me, and this letter from Mordecai really helped me too. Oh, what you said earlier is really true. What was it you said? Family and friends
help us to stand strong.
Stand strong. Oh, that's still a little new for me, but I'm learning it. And anyway, I have to hurry now and dress for the banquet. And thank you again, 1,000 times again, for helping me to stand strong today. Bye-bye.
Bye, Esther. Best wishes. Wasn't that cool getting to meet Esther right out of the Bible?